Okay, we're good so far. No problems so far. Let's actually turn. I'm gonna turn kick off because I don't want there to be lag. What's up, everybody? We're live. I know we're live. Show has not started yet. It will shortly though, so don't worry. Um, and when it does, I'm probably gonna turn this off. Yeah, so that way. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. All right. Well, we've got 2 more minutes before the show actually starts. So everybody, fill up. We've got a lot we're gonna talk about today, and I think we're gonna start with like a 5 minute monologue of me just giving my opinion on this because I have a decent amount that I want to say. So let's see, what time is it? It is 6:59. We can go ahead and start the show. Yep. All right. I will see you guys here in a minute. Peace.
Out here in the fire pit burning bright, Blaze got the mic spitting truth to the night. Smokehouse slides in heavy like a freight train. Rock dropping bombs making waves like propane. The fire pit blazing hotter than the sun. Politics in motion, yeah, the show's just begun. From TikTok screens to every house in town, Blaze, Smokehouse, and Pair Rock laying it down. They say the country split like open ground. Voices go unheard till the truth is found. Blaze calls the shot, Smokehouse holds the line. Barack sparks the matches where the flames align. The fire pit glowing, casting shadows of lies. Truth up in the smoke, tearing masks from the skies. TikTok live where the real ones ignite. Run your mouth wrong and get lost in the light. Fire pit blowing, casting shadows on lies. Truth up in the smoke, tearing masks from the skies. TikTok live where the real ones ignite. Run your mouth wrong and get lost in the light. Keyboard warriors lurking, eyes full of fear. Blaze cuts through the smoke, makes it all crystal clear. Smokehouse with the hammer, dropping words like nails. Pair Rock preaching fire to fill liberty sails. The fire pit blazing hotter than the sun. Politics in motion, yeah, the show's just begun. From TikTok screens to every house in town, Blaze, Smokehouse, and Pair Rock laying it down.
What's going on, TikTok? All right. Let's get this going. Okay. All right. So, I said earlier that we're going to start tonight with a monologue, and I meant it, okay? Because there's some things I want to start off when we're going to talk about the subject, okay? So, we all know the JFK files were released, okay? And we all know that they're very large and they're too large for any one person to sit down, get through the entire thing, and comprehend everything that was said in one sitting, right? Even multiple sittings. It's going to take probably a team of people to analyze everything that's come out recently. But something that continues to show up in these documents is Israel. And not only Israel, but a person named I believe it's John Angleton, James Angleton, okay? Now, if you don't know who James Angleton is, that makes sense. I don't blame you. I didn't know who he was until I started looking up this information either. Uh, James Angleton was a CIA informant, and he specifically worked with the Israeli government, the Mossad, as a lot of us know them as, and carried out specific tasks relating to foreign espionage, propaganda, spreading democracy, right? All of these things that we've heard before. This is what he did, and he was very well known for it. And there's actually been a bunch of books that have come out recently that he's helped write, and people write about him. You know, third party sources. And oh, let me get rid of this. And I just think it's very interesting. One of the most things that I think is interesting about the United States' history that for some reason Republicans don't want to touch. I've never understood why Republicans don't touch the subject. Is Israel's relationship with the United States? Okay, because if we take a step back and we realize, okay, we've been getting screwed on the USAID front, right? We've been getting screwed on foreign funding, on Medicare and Medicaid, people who are getting checks that don't qualify. But we don't have the same attitude for Israel. Now, I understand we're a Christian nation and we're a biblical nation. I understand all of that. And in the Bible, it says Israel is God's people. I understand all of that. But I also understand that the Israel that stands today is not the same Israel that stood during biblical times. They're not the same people. So the same rules don't apply. Now, do I think that Israel is somebody who is against us? Of course not. Do I believe they're an ally? Yeah, I do. But I think we give them too much leeway. I think we turn a blind eye towards Israel when if it was any other Middle Eastern country, we would have had a different attitude. Now, if you want to go into religions, we can't talk about that on TikTok, specific religions and how they influence that. But okay, M word, we'll just say that in that region of the world in the Middle East, obviously they conflict with Christian ideology, and there have been lots of wars that have happened because of that. And basically what I'm saying is we need to hold Israel accountable for the things that they have done, okay? And I have a list of things, not even talking about this with the JFK files, of things that have happened over the past, since World War II, essentially. And it's very alarming that we don't have the same attitude towards Israel as every other nation that has done us wrong. Because, yeah, Israel has done us wrong in the past. They've screwed us over kind of severely in the past and then lied and said it was somebody else, okay? The only way we found out this information was through secondhand sources and sources like me doing investigation and doing the dirty work and digging and finding this information. They never came out and said the USS Liberty incident was them. They never came out and admitted that. Of course they wouldn't. They kept it under the rug until we investigated. Okay, now I'm going to start pulling and guessing. I wanted to get that out. I wanted to start on it. I want you guys to understand my position on Israel specifically, but not only just Israel, but how it relates to the JFK situation. Because, man, there's some details that I need you guys to hear. Okay, let's get people in here. P Rock, let's get you in here. We're opening up the panel. What's going on, Smoke?
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, another day, another dime. You know how it goes. I'm trying to get P-Rock in here, and of course this app takes forever. There we go. Okay. And I am looking at the requests, so if you guys request, come on up, and I will accept you. What's going on, P-Rock? What? What'd you say?
I said I made it.
You made it. What's up? How's it going, P-Rock? Can we get camera P-Rock tonight? Is that going to happen?
I don't think so.
No camera P-Rock appearance tonight?
Only for the fact that I like to have a cigarette while I'm
Thank you.
talking.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate it.
We got a bad echo.
From me?
Yeah.
Huh. Is that any better?
1, 2, 3. Nope.
It's still, you got an echo?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what it sounds like.
Have you got echo, P-Rock?
Let me see.
Nobody, I'm listening to it on my phone. I don't hear an echo. I think it's you, brother.
Okay.
Well,
I can handle it.
yeah, I was gonna say I think the stream's fine. So
Two Gregs.
two Gregs, we can only handle one. All right, so let's get into this, guys, because I think y'all are on the opposite end of me because I know it's
The
the
only
whole.
thing I gotta say is that if you're doing the show on Israel, I
Yeah.
sure hope you're going to do another show on AMS.
Well,
Let's
what?
be fair.
Well, what specifically? Because the only reason I'm even talking about this is because of the JFK files. That's the only
Right.
reason that's even come up. And Mossad, which we know is like their CIA, has come up numerous times. And this guy, James Angleton, he's come up numerous times. Like I don't know if you've read it or not. And it's okay if you haven't. You're busy. You're a busy guy.
I'll be right back.
Yep. But he's all throughout these JFK files, okay? Like nonstop, point after point, he's there. And I've actually got a bunch of files saved that we can look at right now. And maybe we should all just go over this real quick. Greg, I see you trying to look into my screen so that we can and if you guys want me to just blow this up, or I can't say that, bro it up. If you guys if you guys want me to make this bigger so you can read it, let me know and I'll do that. But I'll just go ahead and read it out to you guys, the short form. In the way of background control file created to give us opportunity to closely monitor our liaison with Angleton, variety of matters which were not reported, normal CIA channels, right? CIA director permitted Angleton to run several intelligence projects, many of them with Israeli intelligence services. Okay, so that's the point I'm trying to make is that's Mossad right there. That's them saying Mossad, and they actually named Mossad numerous times. Yeah, let's keep reading. He was given authority to CIA to handle these projects and report only to the director CIA, and he was given authority to disseminate the FBI on all matters of interest to us. 53. We worked out an agreement where Angleton dismissed it to us, and we attributed the information to Bureau Informant 100. So that's another name that we don't know, which is fine, but. All this to say, what I'm gathering from these JFK files, the most that I'm gathering from it is one of the biggest reasons that the U.S. government didn't want this to come out was because we would no longer view Israel as an ally the same way that we always have. You're back, P-Rock. You're with us. Okay, what's up? What do you got for us?
Well, I haven't had a chance to read this yet, so.
Oh, wait. Lucas, you are over 18, correct? Oh, okay. All right. Well, see ya. I thought he was in here. He left. So appreciate the like. Oh, I bet he didn't mean to join. I bet that was an accident. Appreciate the likes. So, I don't know. It fascinates me. I think most people who follow my channel would oppose what I'm saying right now. I think most people who support the things that I post would strongly disagree with my take on Israel, that the reason they had to hide this stuff was because they need Israel to be an ally. And it's a symbiotic relationship, right? It's not like one does significantly better than the other. No, the more we help out Israel, the better off we are as a nation.
Now, what's this all saying? Is it saying that Israel is the one that unalived JFK or what?
Well, what it's saying is one of the things that JFK wanted to do was block Israel's access. Okay, all right. He wanted to block their access. Your name's not showing up for me. You'll have to request. It's not showing up for me. Okay, there we go. Boom. So one of the things that JFK wanted to do was block Israel's access to a nuclear, So that was one of the reasons that they said, okay, well, we don't really like this guy all that much. And we all know this was around the time when those weapons were very highly sought after. And they really wanted to get their hands on them. And JFK was one of the biggest roadblocks in saying, no way, we ain't allowing that to happen. And along with that, let's see, who else was it? The Federal Reserve. He wanted to break up the Federal Reserve, and they weren't having any of that. And I've
Well,
actually,
that I can believe.
yeah, and I've actually got a tweet here. Okay, and the CIA, because LBJ, I don't know how much everybody knows about this. I think everybody knows about this, and we heard from the phone call. LBJ was involved, and I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and swap, since we're talking about that. Let's put on a different image. Was this the image? Okay, all right. Let's see here. Was it this one? From a May to the. I don't believe it was that one. Well, this is a good example, though. Okay, so this is one where that's been going around social media like crazy. We now have plenty of money. Our new backers are Jews. And as soon as we or they take care of Kennedy, which is obviously in reference to John F. Kennedy,
Right.
and let's see, this was Thomas Mosley. Oh, no, this was from Informant 21266, which is obviously a name that doesn't exist. Or maybe involves John F. Kennedy. I had a earlier example, and it actually gets pretty murky because the mafia actually gets involved too, because I assume what he was doing was busting up their either unions or gangs that were everywhere. Thank you, Mary Poppins, for the follow. Thank you very much. We're
I
not
know
far from our goal.
Bobby Kennedy that was trying to break the unions.
Either way,
No, Bobby Kennedy was going after the mafia in general.
so okay. I mean that makes sense too in my mind, but so it's a conglomerate of people. Now, I'm sure it sounds like I'm blaming Israel when I'm saying what I'm saying. The reason I'm going after Israel so hard is because they've been involved in so many. I don't want to say the word because it's almost like false flag operations that they just straight up lie about, right? It's one thing if you do a false flag operation and you say, "Oh, the Japanese came and they, hurt our soldiers, so now we got to go fight." But it's another thing if you say, "Hey, the Japanese did this. Oh, wait, no, it was the Chinese. Oh, wait, no, it was the Irish. Oh, wait, no, it was which is essentially what Israel's doing. And it's like, well, dude, you could have got away with the first lie, but you just keep doing it over and over and over again. And people like me who are in the younger generation who don't necessarily have the admiration for Israel that the older generation has, we're going to look at it a little bit differently. Mary Poppins, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm intrigued about your guys'
Absolutely, yeah. So, what's your opinion? So I know this is like normally I have a post on here, and then I ask the guest opinion, but this is a very broad topic that we're talking about right now, and generally what we're talking about is like just the JFK files. So I guess my question to you is, and you can start off in whatever direction you want. You don't have to answer this question straight off. But who do you think is responsible for JFK and his unlikely demise?
I've always had a little bit of a Israel suspicion,
Mm-hmm.
especially with Mossad being buried with CIA.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I hate to
There
say it. I hate to say it, Mary Poppins, but this is your proof that you're right.
I
I
just
hate-
didn't realize there would be a whole pedo level to this
What do you mean by that?
with Mossad, Epstein, and the president.
Elaborate, if you don't mind, because I don't know what you're
Don't
talking about.
believe That Epstein
Hey, Blaze,
Yeah.
through his
you got
lane-
something wrong with your sound system because everything she's saying, we're getting like 2 or 3 echoes.
I know.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Maybe I've got to do this here. Let me check my audio mixer.
I can hear the echo too.
Okay. Is it any better now? So somebody
Um,
say some stuff.
Mine's still echoing.
Okay. Any better? Any
The
better?
delay is longer. Okay, now it's gone.
Okay, now it's gone, but they can't hear you. So let's see here. Primary.
I can hear her.
Yeah, but I don't think the stream can hear any of you. Big Dog, hey, you're in the comments. Do me a favor. Can you hear them? Y'all say something. Y'all just
Hello?
Testing. Testing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
is the
1,
echo,
2, 3, 4, 5.
is the echo back?
I don't have an echo.
Okay, all right, we're good. All right,
No,
we're back in business.
I don't.
Okay, I'm so sorry, you guys, for that, but I'm working with a new setup here, and I'm trying to do some elaborate things behind the scenes. Thank you, Big Dog. You rock. Okay, now before we got derailed, who was speaking?
I was.
Okay, Mary Poppins, go ahead.
You were talking Israel being involved possibly in the JFK assassination, and if there's words I'm not supposed to be using,
Yeah,
give me the initial of them so that I don't get flagged.
just that one that you just the A word is one. Just say smash a nation or something. Just
Okay.
whatever.
So when I came in, you were referring to the country with an I.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say
being-
Israel. That's fine.
Okay, Israel being involved with the JFK papers that are supposed to be released.
Yep.
So I think big picture wise, when Trump first aligned with RFK Jr., that was a brilliant move because he's always wanted to have some kind of a democratic lean in his party, but he also always promised he was going to release the secret files that were supposed to be released after Jackie Kennedy Onassis
Uh-huh.
died. So then you bring in the Epstein layer, who was with Ghislaine, whose father ran Mossad. And then you think about how Israel wanted the weapons that JFK was blocking. And it just
Right.
kind of now is all coming together.
Well,
and then
and
there's a background theory about his son, and is he still alive? Is he Q? And all that other stuff, depending on how deep you go.
well, so I want to get Smokehouse in after this because I feel like he's definitely got something to throw in here. And Mary, I'm assuming you came to these conclusions before these papers were ever released, or am I?
Oh, I've been down this rabbit hole for about a decade now.
Okay,
This is-
so and it's unfortunate because when you say these things, it's like, what do you mean Israel was involved, and what do you mean like we were lied to for 60 years? Like, dude, it sounds
I get it.
insane.
No, it sounds insane that regular people now are coming to this conclusion. Like 10 years ago, if I had said this to anyone, I would have been in an insane asylum.
That and one thing, and Smokehouse, I promise I'm gonna get you in right after this. I want you to respond to everything Mary's been saying. But and another thing about Trump is I've been watching him and the Israel relationship that we have, and I don't know if everybody's noticed, but yeah, he's helped Netanyahu and he's been his buddy a little bit, but he's also kind of put him on blast. He's also kind of put him on his toes a little bit, and he said some things in interviews that you could tell Netanyahu wasn't ready for.
And
Kind
I
of,
think
kind of being like, "Hey, dude, you don't run the United States. Like at the end of the day, we call our shots. You aren't our
think
boss."
he's got a weird relationship with Israel because his daughter married into that faith and into
Right.
that family region. So he is still a red, white, and blue American that knows he has to roll some weird dice right now.
Right. I agree. Actually, I
Also
agree.
has Jewish grandchildren, and that is, and his wife has embraced that lifestyle. Like she has really stepped back from this entire candidacy.
Yep. All right, go ahead, Smokehouse.
All right. Okay. Now this is biblical, and let me explain why.
I agree.
The Bible talks about. I was looking for the scripture, but it basically that you say that you are Jews You call yourselves Jews, but you are actually the synagogue of Satan.
Yep.
Okay. You
Satanist.
have a group of people that are claiming that name and they are using that name to their advantage. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why they own all of this stuff. And you mentioned the group by the letter M
Mm-hmm.
of Israel, the main deep state of Israel. Every single state has their deep state.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Bible plainly it describes all the evil that these synagogue of Satan's are going to be doing and what they're going
Mm-hmm.
to be involved in, and that their judgment will come, at some point. You have a Soros that would fall into that group. You have, all of these groups. Now, the interesting part about this is that we are told to bless Israel. Those who bless Israel, you'll be blessed. Those who curse Israel, you'll be cursed.
Right.
Um, you had said at the beginning how the Israel that we have today is not the Israel of then, and I would agree to that to a point. But in Ezekiel 37, he gives the prophecy of the dry bones, how God takes Ezekiel into the spirit, and he said, "What do you see?" And he said, "I see these valleys. I see these open valleys of dried bones." And he said, "Well, prophesy to them that they'll heal and they'll join back together. Skin will come upon them, and I will restore their land."
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have to understand that after 70 AD, the diaspora, when the Jews were cast all over, the entire world, in 1948, they were reunited. And it's interesting, if Ezekiel was taken into the spirit, where was he taken? Where was he taken into the spirit? Because he
Holy
saw
crap!
valleys
Reel
of
this in.
he saw valleys of bones. He saw trenches full of dried bones. And if you think about it, if let's say he was taken to the graves, the mass graves at Auschwitz, um, there were these photographs that we saw after the war ended in 1945. These open valleys of nothing but dry bones.
Mm-hmm.
3 years later, in 1948, Israel was restored. I believe, my opinion, that was the Ezekiel prophecy that began to fulfill itself, because that's an ongoing fulfillment, because they're going to continue to return to Israel. Israel is going to be a mighty army, and the glory of the Lord is going to return into Israel. And so this is an ongoing prophecy, but we need to distinguish and decipher between those who have been restored in Israel and the synagogue of Satan. And if we focus on what the word says, that this group that we're talking about tonight that are in these documents are the synagogue of Satan. And yes, I do believe their whole objective, biblically, I think this is the beast system that is rising. And what we have just been shown in these documents are a portion of this beast system making their moves to conquer the world.
Okay, so I've got two questions. May I ask?
Okay.
Or are you still going?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no, we're good.
Okay. So, one, do you think the ones, and let me just go, it's a two-part question. Do you think, one, the ones who are not of God and the ones who are part of the synagogue of Satan could not easily blend in due to their physical features and knowledge of said scripture, even though they don't follow? And then the second question would be, is there something to say about the people who might live in that area or who are not of the synagogue of Satan, who are of God, who do not step out in criticism of said Israeli systems? Does that make sense? And it's a two-part
It
question,
it
so take your time.
it does. It's the great deception. Even the very elect will be deceived. Okay. Um, what this is take. I'll give you an American example.
Hmm.
You've got people that are structured and grounded on the fact that they want what's right. They want morality. They want goodness. They want wholesomeness. Okay.
Hmm.
And then you've got another group that wants all of this new modern day ways, transgenderism, and all this stuff, right?
Right.
We have this divided group. Now, there are some that want the wholesomeness and they want what we want, but they also see the other side and they kind of ride the fence. I believe over there it's the exact same. Okay, you've got the synagogues of Satan that have deceived the world because they own Hollywood, they own everything that is filtering and pumping our minds full of this depravity.
Yeah.
And they've got many people deceived, and I do believe over there. Now you have your faction over there that see it for what it is and they steer clear of it. But there are some over there that may want to be of that lineage and follow Judaism, but yet they're not awake yet, and so they still go along with that M deep state government that they have. So
But it
to answer
ultimately
your
said if said rapture were to happen, if those people didn't ask for forgiveness and weren't saved, I mean, I hate to say it, but you know what I mean? They'd go the same way.
well, yeah, if you go down that avenue, um, I look at the rapture a little different, but because God is going to show His glory in the final battle in like Armageddon, He's
Hmm.
going to show His glory for everyone to see over there, and then that is going to show everyone over there. Oh, whoa, we were wrong. He is the God, and blah blah blah. So
Hmm.
that is going
Can
to
I
have to take
stop
place.
and ask a question right for the point you're at right now?
Yes,
Okay.
How close do you think we are to the rapture?
we'll never know.
Because, like, the seven horns, like, I think several of them have sounded now. And I don't know what the intervals are.
Well, that's a on my program,
You
but
brought it to the biblical level.
Yeah,
And
make sure
since
you
got it,
make sure you follow Smoke because you seem interested in this topic, and he's actually covers the religion aspects more so the political aspect more than I do. So go ahead and drop him
right.
a follow.
I will.
I believe. Okay. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Let me see what your name is again.
you,
Mary.
you
Okay,
old
Mary Poppins.
man.
I know. Um, Mary. A lot of people, and I know that you probably have seen this, have been hearing the sounds of trumpets or something in the air in all these different places.
It sounds
Uh,
more like a deep church bell, but yes, go on.
right. And so we're starting to begin to start hearing those freakish noises. We're seeing stuff like what is it, the catastrophic fish or whatever, the doomsday fish that's been floating up from the bottom
Yeah,
of the ocean.
the silverfish.
Uh,
Hmm.
you know, we're told to watch signs, and we are starting. We're going to see signs in the heaven. All right, that could be the sounds that we're hearing. We
Hmm.
just had a blood moon the other night, along with the other tetrad that we had back in 2015 and such. So yes, I believe that we're seeing a sign. I'm not one to really put a timeline on when it could happen because it could happen at any moment.
So
But I
Dime,
will tell you this,
go ahead. Go ahead.
huh?
Finish.
But I will tell you this. We are much much more closer now than we have ever been.
So Dime Gone Dice commented, his return was supposed to be before the last of the original disciples unalived. You don't put a timeline because you'll be wrong. I agree with the
Right.
second part because I mean that's biblical. We'll never know. No matter how close to end times we think we are, we'll never know. But so to his original point, his return was supposed to be before the last of the original disciples unalived. uh, Smokehouse. You know much more on that specific subject than I do. So go ahead if you got anything you want to say to that.
Uh, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to there, unless he's talking about the two witnesses that'll be killed in the streets of Israel.
Unalived.
Um, uh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, unalived. They will be
It's
they will be
okay.
unalived in the streets of Israel, and I think that's what he's talking about. See, we have to wait upon that, and it's interesting that when the Antichrist spirit comes up on the earth, the Antichrist will have power to call like fire down from heaven, and we're seeing all these laser beams, these laser stuff. So, Mary Poppins, there you go. There's another sign. The fire from heaven.
Yeah,
These lasers.
yeah.
So,
What lasers?
yeah,
We had the the burning in Hawaii and the
Oh,
Palisades
oh, 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 yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to
yeah,
be
with the
the
blue
direct
roofs and the
energy
gotcha, gotcha,
reduced.
gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah,
fire from heaven, brothers.
that's funny that they never really expanded upon that because they never really, as far as I know, investigated it at all. They were just like, oh yeah, some
Exactly.
kid started a
They just
forest
yeah, they
fire.
just keep bopping over stuff. Like
Like,
remember when right before the summer before Corona happened, Australia was on fire. Do you remember like the entire
oh yeah,
continent on
mm-hmm.
fire?
Yeah, yeah,
And then Corona
yeah.
happened and everybody forgot about it. And I literally forgot about it myself until I found a t-shirt that my son had bought sending money for them, and it was like a Star Wars themed, like the Millennium Falcon like lighting Australia accidentally on fire type of thing.
Hmm.
And I was like, so when the fire happened in Hawaii and then in California, and then there was something I want to say in like Colorado ish, it was like a small fire, but kind of like it like skipped, like it wasn't supposed to hit there type of thing.
Okay.
And I thought back to the wildfires in Australia, and I'm like, how the hell did we just forget about that? That was like of biblical proportions that we were going to lose all these animals, like we were because they were only on that continent.
Right. And if I remember correctly, it was either chickens or cattle. I don't remember. I believe it was cattle were getting butchered like crazy out there because it was like mad cow disease or some BS like
Right,
that along with the fires, and it was like they just had to go in and slaughter dozens of cows, and it's like, dude,
right.
you know.
It was, yeah.
So,
It made absolutely no sense.
P-Rock, we haven't heard from you in a while. Um are you just hanging out and listening, or you got anything you want to add? I don't want anybody to forget that you're here.
Oh no, I'm sitting here listening. It's all fascinating.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Gotcha. Have I swayed you on Israel's um alliance with the United States? Basically, have I convinced you that their hands are not clean?
No, I don't think any of
Oh
our
yeah.
hands are clean on any of this. I mean, you look at the
Oh, okay.
Americans, what they've done, and you look at Russia, what they've done. You look at Ukraine, what they've done. I mean,
Okay, all right, yeah. And you asked me earlier, or well, no, you didn't ask me. It was a statement saying that I should do one on the M's just as much as I do on Israelis, and I might do that. Um, I'd have to tiptoe around some things, but
yeah, that's just it. Why would
Can
you
I?
tiptoe?
what's up?
Who are the M's?
Um, Ruslims,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donut owners. Got it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right. Let me add one more thing, if you don't
Yeah,
mind,
yeah.
and then I'll hand it off. Where it says, that's why I say we need to be careful with how we treat Israel. Yes, understand there is a faction that is of a deep state that is the synagogue of Satan, you know. But in the good side of Israel, we still need to obey the commandment of blessing Israel. Let me give you just a few examples. Uh, when George Bush, 2005, signed the deal with Ariel Sharon, the prime minister at the time, to give Gaza to the Palestinians, land for peace, the
Was
Jewish
this
people were
Daddy
given
Bush or Kid Bush?
Kid Bush. It was 2005,
Okay.
and the Palestinians in the peace deal that they signed, were not supposed to divide Israel's lands. Period. Those that touch the apple of God's eye will be destroyed. He says that in his word.
But
But
Bush Daddy was involved in the JFK papers.
right, and so when Bush Senior or Junior signed that deal with Ariel Sharon, gave Palestinians Gaza, the Jewish people were given 30 days to move out. The minute the contract was signed, the Palestinians came in at gunpoint and removed them from their homes at gunpoint. And many of the Jewish people had to go up on their roofs and be rescued off of helicopters.
Mm-hmm.
5 days later, because that what we do to Israel will be done to us. 5 days later, Katrina hits our shores, and the MS, well, the mystery number 13 group comes into Louisiana and removes Americans out of their homes at gunpoint, and Americans under
Rug,
Katrina had to be rescued.
say weapon point.
Yeah, okay. weapon point, and the Americans had to be removed from their roofs by helicopter, just like happened in Gaza. Let's move to April of 2010. Um, Obama had signed an oil agreement with the uh, oil bears over there, the Rusalims over there, and he agreed that whatever they decide to do, America will back them. The first thing that they did was they boycotted Israel's oil, and it cost Israel something like 80 million barrels of oil in that one little signing that America did.
Wow.
The very next day, our BP oil line explodes in the Gulf, and it runs for 60 days. And they bring top engineers in from around the world to try to figure out how to cap this thing, and they could not figure out how to stop it. It ran for 60 days before they were finally able to cap it. And when they did,
Right. And what
estimated
happened to
oil
all that oil? All that oil just
right,
disappeared. This is what I'm
Hmm.
saying about how things happen and then we just forget about it
Yep.
because they capped it
right,
and then they never talked about the billions. Like it was the size of like Greenland supposed to be floating across the ocean. Have we ever seen that ever again? No.
Yeah.
What
right.
happened to it? It's
And
not like Dawn
estimated oil
Dishwash was out there, cleaning it up.
right. And estimated oil loss in that explosion was 80 million barrels, the
Wow.
exact same that Israel lost. So what I'm saying is, I could
But
give you
these are all
example after example.
manufactured incidents. These are all done. Like if you talk about how the Israel people run the media, run Hollywood, all of this is partially staged. We have no real proof. You've been
Oh,
out there
absolutely.
when this happened. This is what I'm saying about Australia. You don't ever see anything on TikTok here, and I've talked about it before on other platforms. Nothing ever comes up in my suggested video to prove one way or another that it happened.
Well, and the thing is, so two things on that is one, like you said, if they own Hollywood, how you think it's hard for them to fake something? You know what I mean, and make it
Yes,
believable? They own
Exactly.
Hollywood.
right.
Exactly.
And I forget what my other point here was, because I just that first point was just like, you think of all the people all the people who have owned film studios, all their last names, and it's just I don't know. It's
the
so
It's just
synagogue of
so
faith.
blatant that you can't even deny it.
it is, and then you get the people who I don't know if you remember Smokehouse, who he came on my live show, and for some reason we got on to the subject of Jews in Israel, and he took what we were saying personally. He took everything that we were saying as a personal slight against himself. And it's like, dude, do you not realize? Like, that's like if somebody said something about an American. It's like, okay, I might have some slight against it, but I'm not going to assume that you're talking about me specifically. Like, you can't, for some people, you can't criticize, that
Right.
group without it turning into that for them. And I don't,
Right.
and
That's like the Dunkin' Donuts people. Like
yeah,
right.
and if you say that, then you're looked at differently, and you're a R word. You know what I mean? It's
Like I would not be able to show my face or
Mhm.
you know,
Well,
like
and I'm not the biggest Kanye West fan because let's be real, he said some outlandish shit. Like let's be so real about that, and he has continued to do it on Twitter. He has posted some shit that nobody would support. Nobody on here
well, I
would
don't know
support.
how deep we're going down the rabbit hole, but there's been more than one version of Kanye West.
Yeah. So yeah. And so it's one of those things like, dude, he's been doing it since day one. Since George Bush
Oh,
doesn't care
yeah.
about black people on live TV. I don't know if y'all remember that, but
Right. And then the next time he was sitting on Trump's desk and they were hugging it out. Like,
yeah. So and he's a good example. You talk about it, and guess what? He loses his shoe deal. The biggest shoe sponsorship that they'll ever have. Yeezys were way too expensive.
Right.
They shouldn't have existed if we're being honest, but they did, and they made him a lot of money, and they got rid of him because he said something against their people. So
Right. And then you go to the other end of the spectrum with the Kardashians and their dad, the freaking transgender who was a goddamn Olympian, for Christ's sakes, on every box
Yeah.
of cereal.
Mhm.
And now you got them talking about the Kardashians drinking the Chrome stuff
Oh
on
yeah.
their
Mhm.
show.
Mhm.
And it's like all of this stuff just keeps all coming back, and then we'll dance right back into Pizzagate. And it's like, holy crap, like all of it starts and ends somewhere with the people in the I country.
Yep. Yep. You can say Israel. It's okay.
Yeah, that's another one. You know, you haven't heard anything about Pizzagate in a while either.
Well, because they came out and said it wasn't true. They came out and said that Pizzagate didn't exist because
That doesn't matter.
the pizza
Police
store that
said
they
that
were
the
investigating didn't have a
wasn't true
basement,
either, but
is
you
what they
start screaming
said.
about that.
I look. I actually don't know that
Hunter
much about
Biden
Pizzagate. I'll be honest.
Jr.'s laptop.
The most I know about Pizzagate is Obama used slang terms to identify things that were not pizza and hot dogs. They were terms. They were euphemisms for other
So
things.
They used Podesta, the two Podesta brothers that are also involved with that little girl that was abducted on the island,
Yeah.
as their orderer or banqueter, if you will, for what they paid for.
I'm gonna change this image here so we all can see. Let's see if there's anything up here.
Here you go. God bless America.
America.
Where? Where would you see something that's oh yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Boom. You know what? We could. I'll just leave it like that. Just boom. There we go. And then I'll make this bigger. Oh, not that. Don't make that bigger. All
I
right.
just don't know how far back in the presidencies this goes. Like,
Oh, it
Lindenberg sound like Johnson, Lindenberg, LBJ, whatever. It sounds like it kind of started a little bit before him, maybe a presidency or two before. But I'm not sure. Like when we start talking about Canada becoming the 51st state because it's still owned by the crown, like it makes you wonder, like, is it this corporation of America versus the United States run still by the people? Ultimately, the military right now, like, was he president 17 or 19, depending on which side of the realm you listen to? Like,
There used to be a thing, I heard it a long time ago, but there was like exact dates that America was America up to this point. Then after that, they became a business. And I can't remember that. I just can't remember it.
1871 Act. When,
Is that what it was?
yeah, when Britain bailed us out and turned us into a constitution after the Civil War.
Okay. That's when we became a corporation.
Isn't that when like treasury bonds started?
I believe
That
so.
I don't know, but if y'all look up Lisa Giuliani wrote an outstanding article talking about the 1871 Act that describes it in detail. Matter of fact, there's a gentleman that kind of reads that report on YouTube, and it's real easy listed, and he lays it out in layman's terms, and it's pretty fascinating stuff.
Is that her husband or his husband, his wife? Jesus, fuck that up.
Right. And
I'm not sure if she's kin to him or not. I don't know if it's
Okay.
his kin or if it's just a woman by the last name
Okay.
Giuliani, but it's
Gotcha,
Lisa
gotcha.
Giuliani.
And it's a shame. I'm not gonna lie. It's a shame what they did to Rudy Giuliani.
Oh yeah.
I know.
They-
I was just
They
thinking
they
about
threw that man under the bus like it wasn't nothing. Like he didn't save New York. It's insane.
Wow. 911's a whole different bag of worms.
911.
Yeah, 9/11.
9/11.
Oh. Well, yeah, it is.
You probably wasn't even born then, were you?
What year was that? 2001.
actually
I
watched
was.
it happen. I'm 50. Yeah.
I was 2 years old when that happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Crazy, right? I was 2 years old. Now, hey, how's it feel? Now I'm all grown up and you're all old and shriveled. Anyway.
did
Hey,
kind of punch
hey,
me in the
I'm
gut.
52.
I'm not gonna lie.
The look my
Mary,
wife just
Mary
gave me.
Poppins,
Damn kids.
Mary Poppins is Gen X, buddy. She'll hurt you.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
still got it.
yeah. Well, this has been a good show, you guys. I haven't had a lot of people wanting to come up and talk, but that's okay. Honestly, this has been a good show, and um, just so everybody on the panel knows, this is our first recorded episode that is going to be going to YouTube. So, just
No
so
quarter.
everybody knows, so this is what
Well,
are
I'd
the
have done my hair if I'd have known that, man.
well shit, you still got time. All
I'm
that
glad I didn't show my face.
all
Yeah,
them
put on
pretty
that Willie
locks.
Nelson wig.
Yeah, I'd have combed my hair.
Don't worry, we have less
Hey,
than 100 subscribers on YouTube. It's like 60 or 70, so don't worry. We're growing though,
Okay.
a new channel, so don't worry. We're growing.
I'm super
Well,
important. So it's gonna blow up.
I'll make sure I put your name in the
real
title.
quick.
It's not.
Well,
Yeah,
Mary,
that's
Mary
totally my
Poppins,
real
listen,
name.
I'm following you now, Mary. I'm gonna send you a link to my show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, you and I got a lot of biblical stuff to talk about because we didn't even get to Hillary and Gilgamesh and all that stuff.
Ooh,
Oh, I know, man. Nimrod, yeah.
I
Hillary.
feel like you
Yeah.
guys should just leave us alone so we can talk.
Well, I mean, go for it. We got time. We got at least another 10 minutes. Go for it. I don't care. I'm here.
Because when you talk about the Anthony Weiner laptop, since they're finally acknowledging Hunter Biden's laptop, and even though they found multiples because China holds one on him,
Ooh.
talk about Hillary because I believe Hillary is even worse than Bill. I think Bill was just a sex addict.
Schmick.
But I think Hillary is the satanic one and did all kinds of awful stuff. We kind of touched on the Epstein thing, but the Pizzagate thing goes even deeper because the Podestas are into, if you see that artwork with that Albrina Abramovic, they call her some kind of cook. She cooks for all the celebrities. So again, we talk about Hollywood for Lady
I heard
Gaga.
about this. Yeah, yeah.
I'm unfamiliar.
So like,
She's like a Satanist or something like that.
Oh,
oh yeah, they're all involved though with Epstein and Ghislaine, and ultimately that Mossad.
mhm.
All of this comes back to Israel. It always circles back to Israel. Anyways, when you were talking about the biblical stuff, with us being so heavily involved in the Middle East, and they keep talking about how the Euphrates River is drying up. Like, how is the Euphrates River just dried up? Like, what is going on in that part of the country that is happening? In biblical terms, that is where one of two, I believe, of the fallen angels were buried, were underneath the Euphrates River. And biblically speaking, when the Euphrates River retreats, or however it's said in the biblical term, I can't quote that stuff like you do, that is another one of the signs of the rapture.
Mhm.
That's why I'm saying, like, how many more things, like, time-wise, I'm not one of those people that, like, truly keeps track of, now we've got these sounds happening. We had the most aligned
Oh, she said something.
Are you
She left.
No, she got banned.
What is
banned?
Yeah, it said she for community guidelines. She got banned.
Uh-oh.
I hope this doesn't get anything. Let me check my phone. Let me check my account. Make sure I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
have any
buddy.
notices.
Heck yeah!
Y'all
We're
gonna get
over the
me-
target.
Y'all gonna get me damn banned, man. Wait, over the target.
Well, you wanted the show. That's
You
what it's
wanted
all
a show.
Lee censor
Well,
us. Kill us, we
That
can't
is
cuss.
awesome. Hey, that's a good sign right there.
Is
she
it?
banned from TikTok or just
I don't
alive?
know. I don't know. She might just be banned from. Well, she's not watching, so she might be banned. Like, of course, it might be one of those things where she's like temporarily banned, and then she can come back in like 24 hours or whatever. But she followed me. I think she followed you. So try to message her and make sure everything's good on her account. Make sure she didn't get like, I don't know. What did she
That is
say?
crazy.
Oh, you know what, dude? I
I
bet
don't know.
I said no. I know what it is. She said schmex without the sh in front of it. That's what it was. Because I said it after her, and that might be what got my live saved. It's schmex without the sh in it. Think about it, P Rock.
Next.
Cole or P Rock. I called you Cole.
Copulation. Copulation.
What do two people do when they love each other, P Rock?
Go for
They
ice cream.
copulate.
Exactly.
Play checkers? I don't know.
They play
I get
rabbit.
it.
I don't
Okay,
know.
P-Rock.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So that's probably what happened if I had to take a
Wow.
guess. So
I don't
Well-
know, man, because she was talking about the fallen realm in the Euphrates, and that might have
Yeah.
been what. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true stuff.
but surely not though.
Yeah.
That quick? Surely not.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Well,
Somebody's watching your show.
I guess, man. Well, let's get the hell out of here then. Well, yeah, I guess, I mean, do y'all want to go for another 10, 15 minutes? I'll restart the live if y'all do. If not, then I'll just go ahead and call it
No, we're
good.
good. I gotta be getting to bed, but
Oh, yeah. Well,
Don't forget, I need batteries tomorrow morning.
Oh, well, thanks, P-Rock.
yeah.
I really wanted to hear that right before I ended this. That's really what the reminder that I wanted to hear.
Hey, 30 is a priority.
Well, the thing is, P-Rock, are you trying to drive it tomorrow, or are you
Like
going to
it's
drive a
easy.
different truck?
I'm going to probably drive it tomorrow.
Okay, so you want me to,
Yeah. It won't take you 10 minutes.
as
Is
soon
it?
as I get there, you want me to just forget about the safety lane. See, P-Rock, you don't even care about the other truck drivers. All you care about is these damn batteries.
Hey.
I care about the other truck drivers.
Sure.
How you feeling today, Smokehouse?
Until I see
These
until I
five. There
see
you go. Now I'm
Cheap,
worried about my
cheap.
batteries.
until I see better flatbeds, there is no safety lane.
Oh
Hey,
god.
hey, I know what I wanted to tell you was, you remember Tracy from Fleeco?
Yeah, but you could probably tell me off the show.
Well, it doesn't matter. Does it?
Yeah.
All
would.
right, yeah. All right, yeah. Let's get out of here, boys. Y'all talk to each other privately. Good
All
show. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Adaptive Vet, Rudy means it, and Big Dog. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Big Dog, for hanging out with us tonight. Yeah, good viewership, solid all night. So, yeah, you guys have a good night, and we will see you on Friday.
Take care.
All right, see ya.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
Okay, so I guess we're just gonna stay live, or you know what? We're gonna turn it off because I gotta reset this thing here, and then we're gonna turn it back on. And I would turn on music, but I wouldn't be able to hear it, so I'd have to turn it on through the PlayStation, and I don't really think I want to mess with that. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna turn off the political stream. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Long episode, very, very long. If you're still listening, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Honestly, if you're still listening, you're an MVP. I don't know how you're still listening, but if you are, thanks. And we will see you on Friday.